Suppose that any student studying for a big exam. Does he ever tell himself in advance that he would not stop until he has read a certain number of pages, memorized some specific number of definitions, or solved a fixed number of problems? The chances are good that he will do all such above things, because most people realize that they often accomplish more when they have a concrete goal than when they don't. In 1960s, Edwin Locke put forward the goal-setting theory of motivation. This theory states that motivation can be strongly influenced by goals. It was observed on research finding that a wide variety of tasks people performed better when they were given specific goals than when they were simply told to do your best. Some important principles of goal-setting theory are clarity, challenge, commitment, feedback, task complexity, self-efficiency, goal commitment, etc. Let's look at each of these in detail. Clarity. Clear goals are measurable and unambiguous. When a goal is clear and specific with a definite time set for completion, there is less misunderstanding about what behavior will be rewarded. Reduce job turnover by 15% or respond to employee suggestions within 48 hours are examples of clear goals. Challenge. One of the most important characteristics of goals is the level of challenge. People are often motivated by achievement and they will judge a goal based on the significance of the anticipated accomplishment. Rewards typically increase for more difficult goals. If you believe you will be well compensated or otherwise rewarded for achieving a challenging goal, that will boost your enthusiasm and your drive to get it done. If an assignment is easy and not viewed as very important, and if you or your employee does not expect the accomplishment to be significant, then the effort may not be impressive. Commitment. Goals must be understood and agreed upon if they are to be effective. Employees are more likely to buy into a goal if they feel they were part of creating that goal. The notion of participative management rests on this idea of involving employees in setting goals and making decisions. Feedback. In addition to selecting the right type of goal, an effective goal program must also include feedback. Feedback provides opportunities to clarify expectations, adjust goal difficulty, and gain recognition. It is important to provide benchmark opportunities or targets so individuals can determine for themselves how they are doing. Task complexity. The last factor in the goal-setting theory introduces two more requirements for success. For goals or assignments that are highly complex, take special care to ensure that the work does not become too overwhelming. Goal-setting theory has certain eventualities such as self-efficiency, goal commitment. Self-efficiency. Self-efficiency is the individual's self-confidence and faith that he has potential of performing the task. Higher the level of self-efficiency, greater will be the efforts put in by the individual when they face challenging tasks. While lower the level of self-efficiency, less will be the efforts put in by the individual, or he might even quit while meeting challenges. Goal commitment. The goal-setting theory assumes that the individual is committed to the goal and will not leave the goal. The goal commitment is dependent on the following factors. Goals are made open, known, and broadcasted. Goals should be set self by individuals rather than designated. The individual set should be consistent with organizational goals and vision. It has been found that goal setting works best under certain conditions. It is most effective in boosting performance when the goals are set highly specific. That is, people know just what they are trying to accomplish. The goals are challenging. Meeting them requires considerable effort. But the goals are perceived as attainable. People believe that they can actually reach them. Now try this. Discuss the advantages and limitations of goal setting theory. Critically evaluate goal setting theory of motivation.